What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder podcast. Your host, and it's the show. So let's get right into it. You know, give you a little history about my crypto journey. Started in early 2017. An old colleague of mine asked me to did I ever hear about Bitcoin and to look it over. I kind of dismissed it. Well, she brought it to my attention even sooner than like back in 2015. She brought it to my attention. And at the time, I didn't take Bitcoin serious. I was not interested in Bitcoin. I thought it was, some type of internet money that you use to play in like online casino games, things like that. And then I was hearing, you could do a lot of things like, well, not you could do a lot of things, but there was a lot of, shady dealings, people using Bitcoin to conduct, nefarious things and purchase, acquire all kinds of illicit crap. And so, I got, okay, she mentions it to me again 2 years later, 2017, and I was just still dismissive, but not really, because I said to myself, let me look a little bit more into this. And then once I discovered what was really taking place with Bitcoin, I got plugged into the matrix, and I'm still connected to the matrix by way of cryptocurrency. Once I got into cryptocurrency, I never left. Never left. A lot of people got burned in the, beginning of 2018. The bear market, it was brutal. hmm It was brutal, and it was hard to deal with, but I knew that there was something in the technology and in even the different pieces of technology that was out there, that this is not something you ignore. You can't just let this go. If you understand and you've actually utilized it, there's nothing else in the world outside of cryptocurrency that's similar to cryptocurrency, right? So, I've played games. I've called myself investing using crypto, things like that. I've had a lot of losses. I mean, I took a lot of hits. This is not something that, at the time, mind you, there's a lot going on in 2017, um, ICOs. And apart from that, there was this lending thing, this lending platform. The beginning of all of that lending craze was what it was, it's a blockchain I don't need to talk about anymore, but many people know it. Um, but during that whole time, that frenzy, that mania, when Bitcoin hit 20K leading up to that, it was just unbelievable because people were beginning to really see people like, and not that people did it in the beginning, but it was a smaller group. People started to learn over time. The masses started to see how many gains you could make, you could earn, you could achieve, right? Like how much money you could make in such a short period of time dealing with crypto. It was very eye opening. And so, but at the same time, it was also even more lawless than it is now, if you could believe that, right? There were no ETFs. DeFi wasn't really popular like that. Regulations, it was wild, wild west, like even more open. But now it's a little different. You have, these people wanting you to believe that they're in the space now, banks and whatever. So it's different. But back then, I mean, people were making a lot of money. And so 2018 came, and that was the beginning of like the bear winter, my first bear market in crypto, right? I mean, imagine entering a space and you're entering in the beginning of the bull market, right? Towards the peak. You're like on cloud 10. You thinking everything you do is you're a winner, you're a genius, because anything you threw money at back then made money for you. Anything. Anything. Like top 100 coins or whatever, anything, you just made money. And so you thought you were, like I thought I had the Midas touch, and boy was I wrong. So 2018 came and went. But before I even say that it came and went, it introduced these this hourglass thing, man. That was a mania in itself. Whoa, like that was a tidal wave that, man, it has so much potential. The hourglass model, the economic model of the hourglass, I respected it for what it is and what it can do, but I didn't respect the the players who created the hourglass and how they ultimately performed at what they did, how they abandoned the project, and the players meaning the developers and the most popular of all the hourglasses. Um, as a team, they were a meme crew. Although what they did, a lot of people believe that they were intelligent, rightfully so, but they were also trolling like big time, big time. They didn't make any. It wasn't. They weren't even quiet about it, and you know they had potential. Like they had potential to really make something good happen with this piece of technology they used. Ethereum, but they've abandoned the project and left the community in a lurch ever since then. Ever since 2019, though. But the whole hourglass spawned this movement where different people, they got into a competition with each other. They called it the DAP Wars, right? Clone Wars or whatever. And a lot of people made money. A lot more people didn't make money. That's the thing with these hourglasses. People made money, but a lot more people didn't make money, because we learned, even though it doesn't like to be, spoken upon, but those were zero sum games. Eventually the last person who enters these contracts, unless ultimately hold the tokens basically forever, the last person who enters those contracts, or the last few people, they have to wait so long to be able to recover, or at least get a return on their investment. And it's it has its own purpose in the space, right? It performs a certain way and it contributes what it contributes to the space. But then after a while, we have to understand that there's so much more that happens in crypto that, you can't always be narrow minded in your view and in your thinking, because you see other opportunities that are budding, because this is how life is, right? So I started to, look at master nodes and different things in crypto. That it was depending on which master node and which whatever blockchain you use, that turned out to be favorable somewhat, but not in the long run. No, they end up either project stopped or they scammed, or mind you, Bitcoin. I appreciated Bitcoin the most, even though there was I found a community in the Ethereum. I didn't find it on my own, of course. I was looking through YouTube, and a promoter was really talking about it real heavy. Well, actually, if it wasn't for him, really, I wouldn't have noticed the smart contract and basically participate in the smart contract. It was, through this one particular content creator who was talking about it a lot. And what he said that was interesting to me was having a good experience. And up to that point, I didn't have a good experience with crypto. By then, it was December 2018 when I found this gentleman's content speaking about this contract that I already saw because it's also part of a play in the DAP wars. The contract still works today, but yeah, I dealt with the contract for a couple years. Like it was great. It was great. It's a great contract, but the model of the whole hourglass thing, it's actually because people don't know a good thing. They don't know how to really cherish, or I guess um, highlight the positive aspects of how hourglass. I think what happened with the whole hourglass community is that people don't know how to consistently generate volume and and transactions and basically movement through those contracts without creating some type of um, hype, without having like a plan. You have to like create this, like it's almost like a manufactured type of hype, right? Like this artificial manufactured type of thing where until the hourglass basically is because it runs on its own, it's autonomous, there's no human involvement really, especially the solid one, um with no admins or whatever like that. But until it can be able where there's like millions of people, right, who are in those contracts, who are using it, who where the contract is constantly, there's an influx of crypto coming in, there's an influx of Ethereum going out, and there's dividends consistently to where people can actually like see it as something that's providing frequent passive income, frequent now passive income. Those things, they're that's why a lot of people think that they're dead projects, that they're dead in the water, because the cycles of the ups and downs are too far and few in between. Like the most successful, well, no, the most successful contract has like had maybe what, 5 cycles within 2 years, which is good in a bear market. You go figure. But since the last cycle, it's been over a year, just because of the nature of people and how people are, and people who are also unaware, and just it didn't strike, I guess, connect to the masses yet enough so that it could sustain its own economic uh functionality by way of people, like fully, because it works flawlessly, but there's not enough human interaction. There's not enough people buying and selling. There's not enough activity to keep it going. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. And on top of that, you have Ethereum that through the bear market, it was, what I've seen as low as $40. And now Ethereum, years later, has become, it's touched its all-time high of $4,600 or so, 47, maybe even close to five. I don't think it touched five yet, but like $4,700. So with the increase of the price of Ethereum, you have these gas fees that match the price appreciation, where it's just been difficult for the little people, the little guys, to interact with Ethereum. It's been brutal, unless you have a lot of money and you don't mind paying those fees. You're hurting, man. Like using Ethereum, it's painful to where people, they use other chains. And the thing about crypto that I see all the time, as much as you believe in what you believe in, there's others that feel the same way in what they're doing, and what they believe in is providing, good things, like it's working for them. And I always applaud that, because I rather see people win instead of lose, because getting scammed and losing your money is never a good feeling, right? It's never a good feeling. And like knowing that, and the position I came into the market, and all I'm doing is like working from the bottom on the way up, right? So I like to say that I represent the people at the bottom, like at the bottom of this pyramid. We're at the bottom, trying to ascend, right? Because we have light. We all have light. It just depends on how brighter your shine than others. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't believe that they have what it takes to invest in cryptocurrency or to even take the chance to learn about it, which I think is unfortunate because it's crypto's available for everyone. Crypto's available for everyone. Now, the key through all of this is understanding the importance of really doing your own research, right? Because what I like doesn't necessarily have to be what you like, right? What you like doesn't necessarily have to be what I like, but they both have a purpose. They both, you're right, they're available for a reason. And because the world is moving at such a rapid pace, and especially technology, we owe it to ourselves to learn about what's available out here. And each one teach one. We build and not so much destroy, but we construct. um we bridge, have understandings, so that because this is something that's really empowering all of us. This is supposed to help all of us as a community, not just to be all about you, or divisive or segregated, and tribalism. That whole tribalism thing gets on my nerves. It really, really, truly does. Because that's why, even though I got into crypto with through Bitcoin, the Bitcoin maximalist, that mental state it's to me, it's not me, it's toxic. It's completely toxic. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been talking about Hex and Pulse because I really like what Hex has done. I really like what it's not even that what it promises to do, or I like what Hex is going to do, what it will do based on what it's done already up to this point. It's a solid piece of technology. It's a solid system. Can't front on it. Like, you cannot dismiss that and think that, oh no, this is something that's not good. After a while, everybody's gonna get rug pulled. Like, come on now. Come on now. People think that right now with Bitcoin, people are gonna get rug pulled just holding Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. Unless you give out your seeds and you remain in that vulnerable state, then yeah, unless you do something like that, which you will get rug pulled easily because you're giving away your seed. Your seed is your life, really. You're not gonna get rug pulled using, especially if you know what you're doing with Bitcoin or crypto. Period. If you know what you're doing, and especially with Hex. I've been talking about Hex recently, and you may think, or people can easily say, "Oh yeah, I'm a maxi, I'm a Pulse maxi, and all this." And I don't care about maxi and all these whatever labels and terms. I know what it's supposed to mean or engender. I know the characteristics, but that's not what I am. I'm winning. I love to win, and I love to see other people win, especially when you're coming from a standpoint of, you know, uh, uh, when you're not at the top of the pyramid, when you're not at the top of the totem pole, when you're at the bottom, from the ground, trying to move up. Okay, now I'm grateful for all that I have because I'm a very, very a blessed individual. Trust and believe that. I'm grateful for all that I have. Yeah, okay, but I also look up. I always look up and I think forward. I look up, I move and think forward, and I never forget where I come from. So I represent the bottom, and we're moving up as a whole, collectively. This is not about me anymore. This is not about me. That's why I give the information I give, and I've created my channel. Well, I created a channel a few years ago, talked about different things, but now it's all about crypto because it's a part of my life. It's an absolute part of my life. And I think it could also be in the lives of others if they give it a chance, right? That's all, if they give it a chance. I've talked about different concepts over the years, different cryptos and everything, but because it's necessary and it's important, and naturally in my crypto travels, not that I really literally travel like for crypto purposes, but one day, maybe, maybe not, whatever. In my dealings on online and stuff, I've met some great, I've had great contact with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, good times. Like, crypto has brought opportunities, eye opening, right? Opportunities and things that I wasn't prepared for, that I didn't experience in other markets. You know, I didn't experience that in real estate. I didn't experience that trading stocks, investing in stocks and other equities and bonds, and I didn't experience any of that in those markets because it wasn't available. The technology wasn't even there for us to do that, unless you were just like, you're in the finance world, and that's not what I was in. Unless you worked in Wall Street, that's not the area that I was in. You wouldn't, be able to like connect with people easily. Oh, email. Then the email went to Telegram. Telegram went to Discord, or both at the same time. And then all of a sudden you got Zoom calls. Like, you're able to communicate with folks. You know, you got YouTube, leave a comment, hit you up behind the scenes, boom, boom, boom. Like, that's great. That's great. And that's just the beginning. Imagine what, now it's going to unfold. Look at what's going on with virtual reality, right? Like augmented reality, intelligence, AI, blah blah blah. Like this it's so uncanny what's going on right now, and the future, what's about to happen is just going to explode. And I I don't think it's right if you miss the boat. I don't think it's right if you like let this whole thing, this whole system pass you by. You lose out. That's why I feel like if you got to a point where you're listening to this episode, it happened for a reason. You're listening to the episode for a reason, especially if you listen this far. Because I know a lot of you don't, your attention span is zero. I know, I see the analytics. Your attention span is not even 60 seconds, much less 22 minutes. I know I'm going on, and I'm cognizant of that. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, man. I'm not a slave to my audience. I appreciate you, but I'm not a slave to you. You know what I mean? So I'm going to share what I have to share. So I'm saying, like, if you can't put yourself, if you listen into this episode, it's for a reason. Just like when I receive information, depending on the information I have, I know I received this information for a reason, because potentially I might be able to apply this in my life, right? I might be able to just see, oh, wow, okay, this could be used here. I could do this with that. Oh, this might solve some issues, be answers to questions I might have. Whatever. It could be whatever. It could be whatever. But because I see what's going on in this technology space and how advantageous it's been for me, it could be the same for you, because I'm just an ordinary person out here. It could be the same for you if you just give it a shot, as far as learning about it. Understand what you're dealing with. Everything is not just about a Shiba Inu or meme coin or NFT, without knowing exactly what are you doing with the NFT. What are you doing? What are you doing with your Shiba Inu? What are you doing with these new name blockchains and protocols, or whatever you want to have? I've heard so many that I can't even talk about right now, because it's just so many. And it's just like 20 plus thousand cryptos and all these things going on. And this is a different culture altogether that's occurring synonymous with your quote unquote real life. You owe it to yourself to get familiar with what's happening here, because people made money off Shiba Inu. Call it for what it is, whether you want to call it a scam or whatever, because there's nothing, you can't use it for anything. It's just a joke coin, just like 1,000 other doggy coins, that made a play off of Doge earlier this year because of Elon Musk. A lot of people made money with these things. Don't get me wrong. Make your money. Make your money. Just know that those things have short lifespans, right? As quick as they come, as quick as they go. Even Squid Games had a thing. And then they showed it. He was during live, the price went up. The green candle, you saw this big old candle soaring through the roof. And at the same time, while he was on live, there was a dump right there. So be prepared and know for and ready for both sides, like the good and the bad, right? But at least you know about it. At least you know something's going on. Something is going on. Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot better things that's out there than just what's the hype, the new thing, the wave. You know, like there's look what Facebook did as far as change its name. Facebook just changed its name entirely to something else. MetaMask. You see, did we ever think about MetaMask and that whole word meta becoming a thing? I mean, of course, I knew about the whole metaphysics, right? Sure, we understand. But MetaMask, and now years later, because again, going back to 2018, the DAP with the DApps and interacting with the hourglass, that's the economic model. Although it could have been a joke, but serious money can be made with those things. You had to use a MetaMask wallet. So this whole MetaMask now is becoming a thing. It's like you were already in it. You were already involved. You were already involved if you were, around in 2018. And you're seeing how everything is unfolding. So you're ahead of the curve. Everybody who's in crypto right now, although it seems like, there's so much going on, you might be too late. You're not too late for anything. Imagine Bitcoin's going to be 13 years old in January. Okay. The crypto space has only been in existence for 13 years compared to the financial legacy system that's been around for how long? We're still early. We're incredibly early, very early. That's why if you find this information now, it's coming to you for a reason. Whether it's me, whether it's through the news, whether it's through your friend, whether it's through another content creator, other outlets, whatever. If you find this information and you find something regarding that, and you dig a little deeper, yeah, it could be intimidating because it is a learning curve, but dig a little deeper, because the opportunities are available. Opportunities are available. And so this is part of the reason why I know I can't get into the whole thing as far as, my crypto journey, but I'm trying to give you an understanding of why I do what I do, right? And why I talk about what I talk about. Another reason, as far as with crypto, I'm just, right now, I just deal with what I like. It doesn't mean that what you deal with, whatever it is, it's whatever. Because, I've reached a certain age where, if you live your life narrow-minded, right, you put yourself at a disadvantage because there's so much going on outside of your scope of narrow-mindedness. That's why I don't judge people who, although they might like hacks and Pulse, they talk about other cryptos as well, because people have the freedom to do that. And who am I to pass judgment on someone who's doing other things? I could do it out of fun and out of jest, but in truth, I don't like it's because someone could easily pass judgment to me. Many could pass judgment on me for only talking about Hex and Pulse, and that's their right. And frankly, I don't care. But I've gotten to that point where, look, stick to what you got going on. Stick to what you got going on and forget about what they got going on, especially if it doesn't impact you in an adverse way. Stick to what you have going on and keep it moving. Keep it moving. I just know in the time that I've been in crypto, even with Bitcoin and everything else, there is not a single asset in this world that performed like Hex did in 20 months, 18 to 20 months. Nothing. And so why not? Why won't Hex be highlighted? Why won't I talk about Hex? Especially if I finish telling you about, what I'm about. Why won't I talk about Hex? I'm going to talk about Hex for as long as you know what I'm saying? If something else comes out better, which naturally, when you talk about evolution, maybe, But look, I mean, why can't I say no if we thought Bitcoin was the top dog? Bitcoin isn't the top dog anymore. The Bitcoin maxis would think otherwise, but in reality, it's really not the top dog anymore. Hex was launched, what, 10, 11 years after Bitcoin. You see what Hex has done. So evolution, it's about evolution. It's about progress, onward, forward progress. So possibilities for something else could happen. Until then, it's all about Hex, man. It's all about Hex right now. It is. There you go. There you go. And Pulse too. Pulse is creating something that's like, my goodness, man. You know, it's so stunning how people just are in, maybe they're just in disbelief that, wow, Hex has really done this. Or even like that I'm talking about Hex. People can't believe that I'm talking about Hex. That's the thing I'm going to talk about in my next episode. That's what I'm going to do. But folks, as far as Pulse, people don't like they, because it's this strategy, this game theory that's behind Pulse is magnetic, completely polarizing. That's why those who are not involved don't understand it. They just simply don't, and they won't understand it until they experience it the same way you have or we have. Folks who are not in like, as far as Pulse and understanding, even those who haven't sacrificed, they don't really, folks outside don't really understand because they're not in our shoes. Because what's going on here has never been seen before in cryptocurrency, right? It's never been seen before. It's never been done before. And the possibilities, look, you got everybody waiting on the sidelines. Even the haters are waiting on the sidelines, trying to wonder, oh, wow, you know, to eagerly wait to see what's going to happen. Is he really going to pull it off? Is he really going to pull it off? Yeah. Some people really have that in their heart. They don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because it's a great thing. It's a great piece of, I call it like, well, I'm going to keep it simple. It's, again, it's a gift. It's a gift that's given to the world that's beyond, it's bigger than Richard Hart himself, in my opinion, right? He was just a vessel that this whole ideas and this product called Hex and soon to be Pulse Chain, he was just a vessel for all this to come through. Like, as far as like, he thought about it and he's making it happen with the help of other people. But like, as far as like, you know, yes, this was a gift. This is a gift given to us by the most benevolent that you could think of, Creator. That's how I feel in my heart. And that's not gonna, it can't be stopped. It can't be stopped because you're watching something unfold that's greater than us. It really truly is. Because this is something, look at what Hex is doing, the potential of Hex. When you think about the potential of Hex and how far it can go, people will laugh at you. But technically, it can go beyond how far it could go. That's how powerful this is. It's no joke. He said that it's worthy of Nobel Peace Prize, not because of ego, not because of self-aggrandizement. It's because it's the truth. It's because it's the truth. He's saying it because it's bigger than him. It's bigger than Richard Hart. Folks are losing sight of that. Folks are really losing sight of that. Oh, I don't think they understand that. Maybe they do. There's a lot more intelligent people and empathic people out there than I am, right? So, no, like, folks can't believe what's going on here. They can't believe it. But because even like I mean, like, I completely believe it's gonna happen. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it more than you'll ever know. And I know many other people are looking forward to it too, because you hear it, you see it, you hear it in the chat rooms, you see it online. Oh my goodness, the fervor, the fervor is at a heightened pitch. Like seriously, like people are excited and happy. Why wouldn't you be happy for those who are excited? You right? Makes sense. So listen, everybody. I know I took so much of your time, but I just wanted to share that. But there's another topic I'm gonna get into though. Like people can't believe I talk about. Yeah, but that's for the next one. I'll talk to you all later. Take care.